Sam Dawkins, grade 5. In an email, I asked my dad if he shot anybody yet. He said he didn't want to talk about stuff like that, and maybe we should stick to chess. He beat me pretty fast in that first email game. I guess I wasn't paying close enough attention because he captured my queen, and after that he just took all my other pieces one by one. I'll never let that happen again. After he checkmates me, he asks me if I'm up for another game or am I too chicken. I tell him to bring it on, hotshot. He moves one of his pawns up, and so do I. I move the pieces on our chessboard at home, so I can see the game better. Chess by email is pretty cool. I would usually check my mail after dinner, and Dad's move would be there waiting for me. I liked having as much time as I needed to decide what to do next. No pressure. I learned some of the basic strategy by then. Like, you want to bring your pieces out from the back row as early in the game as possible. But you don't want to bring your queen out too early, because then she's open to attack and she can get in the way of your pawns. It's a really complicated game. You gotta think.
Brenton Damagachi, grade 5. Snick came in one morning with his chessboard. He told me he was playing a game against his dad, and he needed some advice. He set up the pieces, and I looked things over. He had done a pretty nice job. His dad was a piece ahead, but Snick was in a good position and could still win. I told him a few things he didn't know, like a rook is worth more than a bishop or knight, which are worth about the same. And if you have two pawns in position to make a capture, you want to capture toward the center of the board. But he had already learned a lot of stuff on his own. He's smarter than he gives himself credit for. I'm an okay player. Not great. I've never really studied the game. The most important thing to know is that chess isn't a battle. It's a war. You want to gradually build up tiny advantages and make your position better until the enemy has no choice but to quit. I advised Snick to castle so he could get his king away from the center of the board.
Miss Rasmussen, 5th grade teacher. I really didn't know all that much about chess myself. I had played a tiny bit as a child. All I knew was how the various pieces moved. I didn't understand strategy. But when I saw Sam and Brenton talking over a chessboard, it seemed like one of those wonderful, teachable moments we live for. So I scrapped our lesson plan for the morning. I drew the chessboard on the chalkboard and explained to everyone the basic rules of play. The students started giving their ideas about which move Sam should make next. Sam and Brenton stood at the front of the class and explained why some moves might be smarter than others. It was fascinating for the whole class. I could almost see the wheels turning in their little heads. We spent the whole morning doing that, and finally Sam decided to castle. That's when your king and rook sort of switch places. It was a wonderful learning experience that I'll remember for the rest of my teaching career.